Have you ever said, "I'll start tomorrow"? Or convinced yourself that you're just waiting for the right moment? Maybe you've told yourself, "I'll do it when I feel ready." And yet the days pass. The weeks fly. The years slip by quietly, unnoticed. The truth is, we often spend more time waiting than living, caught in the comfort of delay, thinking there's always tomorrow. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, understood this well. In his writings, he warned that time is our most precious resource, and the longer we delay, the more we lose. As he said in On the Shortness of Life, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The act of procrastination doesn't seem dangerous at first, but it quietly robs us of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. In this video, we'll dive into Seneca's wisdom on how to stop wasting time and start living with intention today. So, let's begin. Seneca believed that time is not just something we pass through, it is the very substance of our lives. When we waste time, we are not just throwing away minutes or hours. We are discarding our very existence. According to Seneca, people guard their money, property, and possessions with fierce determination. But strangely, we allow our time, the one thing we can never reclaim, to be stolen without resistance. Most people live as if they have an unlimited supply of time. They fill their days with trivial distractions, endless scrolling, meaningless conversations, and tasks that bring no value to their soul. Seneca challenges this mindset. He reminds us that our time is borrowed, and every moment that passes is a moment that can never return. He does not simply say time is short, he insists that time is being wasted. What makes this insight so powerful is its brutal honesty. We often act as if life is something that will begin later, after we've earned enough, retired, or checked off all the boxes. But Seneca tells us, life is happening now. Every second you spend waiting is a second you're not living. Every hour of delay is an hour of life slipping through your fingers. Seneca does not blame the length of life, he blames the misuse of it. In his work, he observed that many people live long lives but accomplish nothing meaningful because they are not truly present. Their minds are scattered, their focus is broken, and they are enslaved by distractions. A long life does not guarantee a fulfilled life. What matters is not how many years we live, but how deeply we live within each moment. This perspective invites a radical shift in how we approach each day. Imagine if you treated time the same way you treat your most valuable asset. Imagine waking up each morning with the understanding that today is a gift, a slice of your life that will never return. How would you spend it? What conversations would you have? What work would you prioritize? What distractions would you walk away from? Seneca's message is urgent yet empowering. He tells us that it's never too late to begin living intentionally. The moment you recognize time as sacred, you begin to live differently. You stop handing over your hours to people or tasks that don't serve your highest purpose. You begin to choose wisely, love more fiercely, and act more courageously. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already have. Life's most precious resource is not money, fame, or success. It is time. Once spent, it cannot be returned. Once passed, it becomes memory. And so the wisest way to live is to honor every moment as if it matters, because according to Seneca, it absolutely does. There's a quiet lie many people believe, one that feels safe, familiar, even responsible. It whispers that tomorrow will be better, that next week is more suitable, that the time to begin is not now, but later. This lie wears many disguises: preparation, planning, waiting for the right mood. But beneath them all is one core idea: delay is harmless. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, didn't see delay as harmless at all. To him, it was one of the most deceptive traps a person could fall into. Why? Because it convinces the mind to trade something real, the present moment, for something uncertain, the future. The future, Seneca reminds us, is not a promise. It's a possibility, nothing more. To delay action until tomorrow is to gamble with the most valuable resource we have, time. This delay often doesn't feel like avoidance. It feels like being careful, like waiting for the right alignment of circumstances. But Seneca would argue that this is fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of facing life as it is. And so, many drift through their days repeating, "Not yet, maybe later." But while we wait, time moves forward with quiet indifference. Procrastination becomes a habit not just of behavior, but of thought. It creates a mental pattern that convinces us we're doing something by planning to do something. But no plan replaces action. No preparation replaces motion. Seneca teaches that action is what transforms time into meaning. Without it, time slips through our fingers unnoticed, wasted not in days, but in decades. Comfort is often the root of delay. It lulls the mind into stillness with soft promises. But comfort, left unchecked, becomes a prison. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer than growing. It tells you that stillness is peace, when in truth is stagnation. Seneca believed that comfort should never come at the cost of purpose. Every day we wait, we silently accept a version of life we do not want. Not because we've chosen it, but because we've chosen not to act. And in the Stoic way of thinking, that inaction is a choice in itself, a passive surrender to fate. Instead, Seneca encourages a radical shift. Act now, not because conditions are perfect, but because now is the only time that is real. The lie of delay is seductive, but truth breaks its spell. The truth is, there is no perfect time, and there never will be. Clarity comes through action. Growth comes through doing. And life, it comes through fully showing up, not next week, not tomorrow, but today. The world often rewards motion. The more active someone appears, the more accomplished they seem. Calendars packed with meetings, hands constantly occupied, notifications buzzing with tasks. All these are taken as signs of progress. But Seneca, the ancient Stoic thinker, looked deeper. He observed that many people were not truly living, but merely rushing. They were busy, yes, but without direction. They filled their hours, but not their lives. To Seneca, this was not just unfortunate, it was tragic. Activity in itself is not virtue. Just because one is moving doesn't mean one is moving forward. And just because a person is working doesn't mean they are working on what matters. Seneca warns that many live as if they are doing everything except the one thing worth doing, reflecting on life and aligning their actions with their true purpose. Modern life glorifies busyness. It praises the individual who hustles from morning till night, who sleeps little and achieves more, or appears to. But behind this mask of productivity often lies confusion. There is motion but no meaning. There is effort but no end. Seneca saw this clearly even in his time. People occupied themselves with business, politics, wealth, reputation, and public appearances, all the while neglecting their soul. Being busy can feel important. It provides a sense of urgency, of being needed. But it can also be an escape, a way to avoid the deeper questions that silence often brings. Questions like, why am I doing this? Does this align with who I want to become? Is this the life I truly desire? Seneca believed that time spent without intention is time wasted. And waste, in this case, is not just unfortunate, it's irreversible. No amount of success can recover lost time. A full calendar is not the same as a full life. And a long to-do list does not equal a meaningful legacy. Busyness without purpose can also trap a person in perpetual dissatisfaction. Because when the day ends, there's often nothing to show but exhaustion. There's no sense of fulfillment, only the nagging feeling that something important is being missed, that something essential is being avoided. Seneca encouraged the cultivation of awareness. Not just to live, but to know why one lives. He believed that life should be shaped deliberately, not by reacting to demands or distractions. The wise person doesn't chase everything, they choose carefully. They guard their time. They understand that saying yes to everything is, in fact, saying no to themselves. Living with purpose doesn't always look busy. It often looks quiet, focused, steady. It means taking time to reflect, to think, to to plan with intention, and then to act decisively. It's not about being everywhere, but being fully present where it matters. Seneca's wisdom reminds us, don't confuse motion with meaning. Don't mistake busyness for progress. And never let the noise of the world drown out the charity of your own purpose. Life tends to be lived in the future. People often think in terms of what's next, the next weekend, the next job, the next achievement, the next stage of life. It's easy to fall into the habit of postponing joy, deferring peace, and delaying fulfillment. But Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, challenged this deeply rooted mindset. He warned against living for a tomorrow that might never come, and he emphasized something most forget: the only time that belongs to you is now. The human mind is brilliant at imagining. It can create perfect futures in which all dreams are fulfilled. But this mental projection often becomes a trap. People wait for a better version of life to begin instead of engaging with the life they already have. They speak of starting someday when the job is less demanding, when the kids grow older, when the conditions are right. Yet in chasing the horizon, they lose the ground beneath their feet. Seneca believed that deferring life is one of the most dangerous habits a person can form. Not because the future is bad, but because it is unknown. The future can be shaped, but never guaranteed. And yet so many live in it, sacrificing the richness of the present moment for the fantasy of a better one later. In doing so, they miss the only time they actually possess. This illusion of later gives comfort. It lets one avoid uncomfortable action. It excuses inaction with hope. But hope, without engagement, becomes a form of quiet despair. The idea that life will begin later slowly erodes the truth that life is already happening. Right now, every passing minute is a piece of your story, whether or not you choose to write it with intention. Seneca urged a deep awareness of this reality. He called for living fully, not frantically. Not by rushing through the present to reach the future, but by embracing each moment as sacred and sufficient. This doesn't mean abandoning goals or forgetting responsibilities. It means refusing to place all value in things yet to come. It means giving full attention to conversations, to effort, to rest, to nature, to reflection, to life as it unfolds. Most people think they are waiting for life to begin, but in truth, life is waiting for them to notice, to wake up, to stop postponing meaning, happiness, and purpose until some imaginary better time. Seneca believed that those who truly understand the value of time don't waste it. They live deliberately. They don't wait to live, they live while they wait. Living now isn't about indulgence. It's about presence. It's about making today count, not because it's easy, but because it's all you can be sure of. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. But the present, this moment, is yours. One of the greatest barriers to a meaningful life isn't external, it's internal. It isn't lack of time, talent, or opportunity. It's fear. Specifically, the fear of failing. It creeps into decisions quietly, paralyzing action and feeding doubt. It convinces people to stay in their comfort zones, to take the safer path, to choose avoidance over adventure. And in doing so, it robs them of growth, of experience of life. Seneca understood this fear well. He saw how it restrained even the most capable minds, how it disguised itself as caution, and how it persuaded people to shrink from life rather than step into it. But from a Stoic perspective, the true failure isn't in falling short, it's in refusing to try. In never pursuing what matters because one is terrified of what might go wrong. Failure is not the end, Seneca believed. It's part of living. It's proof of engagement, of risk, of effort. To try and fall is a noble thing. But to never try at all, to drift through life avoiding every possibility of pain or embarrassment, that is a slow surrender. Is choosing not to live. Fear of failure often appears logical. It tells us to be realistic, to avoid disappointment, to wait until we're ready. But this logic is built on illusion. Readiness never comes. Perfection is a myth. No matter how much one prepares, there is always risk. And if risk becomes the enemy, then living becomes impossible. Seneca urged people to confront this fear with clarity, not to ignore the risk of failure, but to put it in its proper place. What is truly at stake? Reputation, comfort, pride? These, Seneca would argue, are small prices to pay for a life of courage and substance. What's at stake when we avoid living fully, however, is far greater: our integrity, our growth, our sense of meaning. The avoidance of failure doesn't protect life, it limits it. It narrows the world until there's nothing left but routine and regret. People make themselves small, not because they are, but because fear convinces them to be. They settle for less, not because they want less, but because they don't believe they can face the discomfort of trying. Yet in reality, most failure is survivable. Disappointment passes. Embarrassment fades. Lessons are learned. Strength is built. Each stumble becomes a stepping stone if one dares to keep walking. Seneca believed that fortune favors the brave not because they never fail, but because they are not ruled by fear. To live fully is not to live without risk. It is to accept that risk is part of life, and to embrace it with resolve, knowing that the only real failure is to waste the time you've been given by never using it boldly. The Stoic way is not the way of safety, it is the way of courage. And in that courage, life expands. Gratitude is often mistaken for something passive, a gentle nod to fortune when things go well. But for the Stoic philosopher Seneca, gratitude was far more than a polite response to good fortune. It was a powerful, deliberate practice, a way to engage with life more fully, more consciously, and more wisely. To live without gratitude, in his view, was to drift through existence blind to its blessings. Most people rush through life with a sense of urgency, striving, achieving, comparing. The days blur together in pursuit of something more, something better, something next. In this rush, what often gets lost is a simple awareness of the present, of what is already good, already working, already beautiful. Seneca believed that without gratitude, even abundance feels empty. And with gratitude, even hardship can become meaningful. He taught that each moment, however ordinary, is a gift. Each breath, each interaction, each sunrise is a chance to engage with the wonder of being alive. But recognizing that gift requires attention. It requires slowing down enough to notice the small details, the warmth of a morning sun, the kindness in a stranger's gesture, the chance to think, speak, move. These are not minor things. They are life itself. Gratitude, in Seneca's view, is not naive. It does not deny pain, loss, or injustice. Instead, it teaches us to see clearly, to understand that joy and sorrow often walk side by side. That while we may not control all that happens to us, we can choose how we relate to it. And choosing gratitude is not weakness, is strength, is a way of reclaiming power over how we experience the world. This practice becomes even more important when times are hard. It is easy to be grateful when life is smooth. But when life becomes uncertain, challenging, or painful, gratitude becomes a tool for survival. It shifts the focus from what is missing to what remains, from fear to presence, from lack to appreciation. And in that shift, resilience grows. Seneca believed that those who practice gratitude become rich without wealth, content without excess, and calm in the face of chaos. They find peace not because their life is perfect, but because they have learned to see clearly. They stop measuring life by what it lacks and begin to treasure it for what it is. To live with gratitude is to live deliberately. It means refusing to take time for granted. It means cherishing people, even when they're flawed. It means treating ordinary moments as sacred. And perhaps most importantly, it means understanding that nothing is owed and everything is borrowed, even time. In the end, practicing gratitude doesn't just make life feel better. It makes life deeper, richer, more real. And as Seneca might remind us, this moment, the one you're in right now, is enough if you have the wisdom to see it that way. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Every day we delay, we miss out on opportunities to grow, to act, and to become who we're truly meant to be. The truth is, the only time we have is now. If we keep waiting for the perfect moment, it might never come. So ask yourself, what's one small action you can take today to start living intentionally? Don't let procrastination steal your time any longer. Take control of your life now. The power to change is in your hands, but only if you stop waiting and start acting. If this message resonates with you and you're ready to live a more purposeful life, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications for more wisdom on how to make the most of every single moment. Time is too precious to waste. Let's make it count together.